Good evening everyone and welcome to Game 2 of the State Championship Men semi-final series between the Ringwood Hawks, or your Ringwood Hawks, and the Eltham Wildcats. My name is Russell Lee. I'll be bringing to you some commentary throughout this session, and we'll be joined by Matthew Hickey, one of our Victorian Youth Championship men players, a bit later on in the piece. Last weekend we had Game 1 down at the Wildcats home court in Eltham. In a surprisingly high-scoring match, the Ringwood Hawks came away with the W. Early foul trouble didn't stand in the way. Ken was able to call on some of his bench a little bit earlier than usual in Trevor Latham and Steph Osborne, getting the job done in a very tight last quarter. Expect this to be just as physical, just as high-powered defensively and offensively today as we venture into Game 2. If the Hawks can get a win tonight, they seal up the semi-final series. If Eltham can get that W, force Game 3 tomorrow, again at the Rings, in preparation for a Grand Finals 3-game series commencing next weekend. We'll leave you for a few moments now as we get through our warm-ups, National Anthem, and Matthew and I will join you again very shortly.
Hello and welcome, or welcome back to the rings. We are here for semi-final game number 2 between Ringwood and Eltham here at the rings. I'm joined by Russell Lee. Russell, how are you?
I'm well, Hickey. Thanks for getting here on time. I really appreciate it. I thought my intro was pretty ordinary, so I'm glad you're here to take over.
I'm just, when they start paying me the big bucks is when I'll start rocking up a little bit earlier than I'm supposed to.
I'm sure Ken and the club would be more than happy to double your salary.
All right. I don't know what that would be double, but oh well, we'll see. So, as I said, it's Ringwood versus Eltham. Ringwood first on the table here in the Championship Men Division. Eltham 4th. You've already been over the fact that Ringwood hold a 1-zip lead heading into this one. What are you expecting out of this game, Russ?
Oh, I think very much the same as what we viewed last week at Eltham. A really physical game, surprisingly high scoring considering the sort of intensity that the finals brings, an elevated intensity above the regular season. The games that Eltham and Ringwood shared during the regular season were both settled by single digits, really close affairs, both have massive size inside, with Cameron, Bradbury for Eltham, and then of course Clark and Latham for Ringwood, and unbelievable power from the perimeter, especially from downtown.
One thing I noticed looking through the scores of the previous games is in the past and in game 1, Eltham managed to do a pretty good locking up Gibson from the Hawks.
Yeah, they really did. He went off early, hitting 3 threes in the first quarter, and was really quiet for the remainder of the game. Did get into some foul trouble, which saw some of the Hawks bench get on the floor a little bit earlier than normal, but that was what did the job for the Hawks in the end. Their bench play, when called upon, got them over the line.
So I'm going to go to you straight away like I normally do, Russell, and I want a prediction early. All right, here we go. What are you thinking? Now, I'm going to have a guess as to what you're going to predict. I think it's going to be a Ringwood win by about 10 points. That's what I think you're going to say.
Yeah, I'm fairly transparent, aren't I? I do believe that this was going to be a close one. I do believe it will be a Ringwood win, but by single digits, and it will be in contention right until the final few minutes.
Yeah, I'm backing a Ringwood win as well. I think the Hawks good enough on their home floor to get up and over the line in this one. So about 2.5 minutes from tip-off. The winner of this game, of course, heading through to the grand final. And a couple players to watch out for. Somebody who I'm a huge fan of, and that's Matt Fennell. He's the do-it-all kind of guy here for Ringwood, isn't he? He
absolutely is. Very much a swing man, can go insane off the dribble, post up, rain in the triple, which really came alive late in the season for 2016, shooting, I think, well above 40% from deep. A rebounding machine and an excellent defender. And a big unit. Very much is. And I can speak from personal experience, a very, very tough guy to try and get around Matty Fennell. Now, I believe you've got the starters over there, Russell? We do. For Eltham, we will have Ava, Cameron, Canavan, Grant and Waldron. For the Hawks, Clark, Fennell, Gibson, McKay and Snowball. So pretty much exactly what we saw in game 1 at Eltham last weekend. Now, I did go to Coach Ken Harrington during the week, and I asked for some clarification on how to pronounce Mike McCarthy's name. Now, it's Mike McCahey, is what I've been told. Okay, McCahey's pretty close. That's easy. I'm fairly sure I'd be calling him McKay all year, so just a little bit of an extra syllable in there. We can manage that for the rest of the time he's spending down under. And on that note, a quick shout out to anybody tuning in from overseas, over in the States. I'm not sure quite what time it is over there, but thanks for joining us. Not 100% sure either. I have no doubt that our American families are tuning in. Mike's family, Jacob's family, and some of our other very well-known imports over the last few years. Nate Champion, I have no doubt he's listening in. Tate Unruh, and a big shout out to Sam Belt. There's no doubt he's sitting in front of his TV. An absolute legend around the green and white colours down in Ringwood. So 30 seconds to tip off, and Ringwood wearing their amazing retro jerseys, their NBA style jerseys that they've got going on, Atlanta Hawks style. I'm a very, very big fan of these. And I think they're lucky because they seem to wear them all the time in the big games. They do, and it seems to be maybe a bit of a good luck charm, shall we say. 5 seconds away from tip-off here as the referees prepare for the jump ball. It's exciting to see the matchup between Clark and Cameron.
Two big units. Cameron can extend to that perimeter range as well. He's got a very nice outside jump shot when he decides to take it. Shooting over 40% from deep on the season as well. So we're about to tip off. If Ringwood win, they will progress. If Eltham win, we'll be back here tomorrow. Tip-off's underway, and it is Eltham that will start with the ball. So Canavan starts us off. Here he is again. Off-ball pick. Ava there going to work. Kick to the corner. Early jump shot, and it's long, and guess who? There's Cameron.
Cameron definitely got the chocolates in game 1 against Sean Clark, so I have no doubt Shawnee will be wanting to step up to minimise the impact Cameron has tonight.
Not the two quickest blokes down the court, that's for sure, as we see Fennell go to work early. And we spoke about him pre-game, and he's straight on the board for 2 points.
Absolutely, good call there, Hickey, pre-game, definitely one to watch. And
pull-up triple down the other end is no good on that occasion from Ben Waldron. We know he can light it up.
Sean Clark with the rebound. Snowball pushing to Gibson, but fails to nail the triple in transition.
So Ava looking to set things up for the Wildcats. Fennell with the only score. Tough reverse layup, maybe a bit of contact, no call. Good effort to keep it in, but he didn't actually succeed on that occasion, Jordan Canavan.
Packed house here at Ringwood. We've got the stands completely full, now only standing room on ends of the floor and on the court 2 opposite our commentating table.
So a bit of a change here from the Hawks. You're not seeing Snowball pick the ball up. It's Gibson bringing the ball down the court for the Hawks. Tough screen from Clark. He might decide to extend the range as well, not quite on this occasion. But guess who? Matty Snowball underneath. And it automatically looks to create Clark, and I think that will be a charge, and it is. It takes a brave man to put his body in front of Sean Clark.
Yeah, unfortunate call there for Sean Clark. Snowball did a great job collecting a rebound against 3 Eltham defenders before finding Clark on the perimeter, and that handoff to Fennell to no avail as Shawnee flattens one of the Wildcats.
Justin Ava on that occasion. As I said, a very confident man to get in between Sean Clark and where he wants to go. Cameron on the perimeter, low post feed. Looking to go to work now, up and under, fadeaway jumpers long, and that is an over-the-back foul, and that will be on Jordan Canavan. So Canavan and Waldron active early, but to no avail. It's a 2-zip lead to Ringwood after almost 2 minutes. As we see Mike McCahey with the ball, over to Fennell, and the Wildcats really trying to get it out of Snowball's hands, not letting him create. Double clutch layup. Not quite on that occasion. Simon Grant comes away with the rebound.
Great defence there by Gibson, almost taking it away. It will be Eltham ball.
Now we've got 2 coaches here that are both nominated for Coach of the Year, Ken Harrington, Trevor Lee, and 2 MVP candidates, both from Ringwood, both imports, McCahey and Gibson. Good drive. Here is another good take. Short on that occasion from Simon Grant, who's actually up for Defensive Player of the Year for Eltham. It'll be Snowball to bring the ball down. That little hesitation that he does so many times. Clark, will he line up another one? He decides to. That looks good from our angle.
Fennell with the O-board. Kick straight out to Gibson. Couldn't nail the triple.
And no surprises that Ringwood are getting the ball up from distance early. Eltham trying to drive. That was good defence. But a good finish on that occasion from Ben Waldron. And the Hawks cannot let him get going.
Waldron, an unbelievable player at a youth level, make the transition to championship level, and he's been a superstar ever since making that jump.
So Gibson with 3 misses from deep early. Clark wasn't happy with the treatment he received from Cameron down low. Grant looking, handoff, down to just 12 on the shot clock now for the Wildcats. In and out dribble, tough shot. We're going to bank it in, and guess who comes up with it? Matt Fennell.
Racking up a lot of balls early there, Fennell. Snowball looking after the point. Hawks getting through set. Fennell at the top, swings to Mike. Looking for that deep
shot. Not quite.
Unusual for the Hawks to be missing this many early on in the piece.
So maybe a few nerves from either side here. It is game 2. There's a bit of feeling out there, though. There's no doubt about that.
Lots of physicality, some frowning faces already towards referees not calling what they believe to be fouls.
Pull-up jumper, not quite. Caught his own shot.
Fennell with another rebound, fouled up the floor as he pushes by Ben Waldrum.
Interesting decision. It looked like he intentionally tried to foul then, but it was a 1-on-2 situation. Eltham had the advantage, so maybe an interesting decision to give one away as we see Jacob Gibson goes to the bench. He's zipper 3 from downtown to start the day.
Nathan Truman checking in. It's nice to be able to sub one unbelievable three-point shooter out and add another one straight away. Truman with the ball at the point.
So here's McKahey. Up and under. Tough shot, but he got it to go. Ringwood have the early advantage, 4-2. Maybe a shuffle of the pivot feet there from Ava. Pull-up jump shot. That was a pretty move. Just shook his man, pulled up, and it was a very nice-looking shot.
Front court pressure there from Eltham. Ringwood get rid of it quickly. Air ball from Fennell as he barrels into the key. Clark.
And one! That is just skill from Matty Fennell, holding off his opposition player with one arm, somehow getting the offensive rebound and tipping it back in with the other.
Excellent second and third efforts there by the Hawks. Sean Clark getting that first O board, throwing up a second chance opportunity, and then Fennell coming up with the third chance opportunity and going the and one situation.
And he converts. Ringwood up 3 as we see even more people pile into the stadium here at the Rings. An exciting time, BigV finals, and the Hawks lead by 3, 7-4, early stages, first quarter. Tough call. Sean Clark looked like he was about to puncture the basketball just then because he was not pleased with the foul. He did look straight up and down. Chris Cameron will go to the line to shoot 2.
That will be Sean Clark's second foul, and Ken responds quickly, getting Shawnee out of the game and bringing in Trevor Latham to go to Chris Cameron.
Chris Cameron, not an amazing free throw shooter, shooting just 52% on the year.
Very unusual statistic given that you were just talking about he shoots that deep ball incredibly well.
Done the reverse mock run in there, Russell.
There you have. He's nailed the first. 7-5 Ringwood lead.
Now, as we see Trevor Latham check in, I do want to get your thoughts on the green leg sleeves that he is rocking. Yes or no from you?
That would be a no there, Hickey.
I thought I'd see you in those, Russell, but anyways, that's a good pass. Truman to Fennell gets it back as we see Eltham going into a bit of a 2-3 zone, which is confident, but Gibson is out. There are a good number of shooters from the Hawks. Snowball with a great move, just couldn't finish around the ring, and Eltham will come away with it. So just looking to set things up now, the Wildcats. Dribble handoff. Now a screen from Cameron. Good defense from Snowball. Poke the ball loose against Canavan. Somehow get the shot up, and guess who got the rebound? Matty Fennell.
Coast to coast by Fennell. Thinks better of it, kicks it out as the Hawks get through a set here.
So really pushing against that defense, and that'll be a kick ball violation. We'll see the shot clock reset to 14 and some substitutions for the Wildcats.
Christian Williams checking in, Luke Valentine and Simon Bradbury for Eltham. They join Simon Grant and Ben Waldron on the floor to round out the 5.
So Ringwood with a 1-point advantage. Ball goes into McKahey, up and under, and he gets the friendly roll. Ringwood move up to a 3-point advantage. So the half-court offense has struggled a little bit from Eltham. They've had to rely on a bit of one-on-one play to get their baskets. They look for that low post entry again to Waldron. Up and under. That was a lovely move, but he just forgot to put anything on it. And the Hawks come away with it. As we see Stephen Osborne, number 22, with his first touch of the ball. Gibson thought about the deep triple, decides against it. Great pass over the top to Fennell. He does that so well. He goes into the contact and is more than happy to adjust his body and make the shot. He does it a lot, doesn't he, Russell?
He does. He's a class act and been in the league for a number of years. Excellent patience, finishing around the rim.
So deep two this time is good from Simon Grant, and a better look for the Wildcats on that occasion.
Eltham are going to need Simon to be knocking that down. It wasn't a factor in game one. He really struggled from the perimeter. If he can start nailing those, it will close that gap and keep this game exactly where Eltham need to have a shot.
Oh, we saw Osborne with a pretty little behind the back move. Didn't end up getting him a look though. McKay with the one dribble pull up, that's good.
He's feeling it now. He's feeling it.
Tough to stop with one hard dribble to the right and just rise up there from Mike McKay. Tough take, good block from Trevor Latham. He said no thanks to Christian Williams from Eltham.
Osborne pushing to Mike. Mike again, but air ball. A little bit rushed on that occasion.
Tough look, but Ringwood up by 5. Good defense from Osborne. Ball out to Grant. Great take, smart idea, and the big man inside gets it a roll, that time Simon Bradbury. So we'll see how long they sit Matt Snowball. 2.5 left. Oh, it was a good take from Gibson, but he lost control of the ball. Just a little bit of sloppiness down both ends at the moment.
Yeah. 13-10 Ringwood lead. Eltham inbound. 2:23 left in the quarter.
So Grant has the ball on the wing now. Down to single digits on the shot clock as of now. Hard take, and he threw the head back and he earned the foul, Luke Valentine. Subbing onto the floor looks to be James Malvaso for Eltham. Off steps Ben Waldron, who's been a focal point of the offense early. He's played all right, but hasn't been able to take advantage of all of his opportunities. They look for Grant on the low post. Instead, they go to Bradbury. Tough to stop that move. He sticks the arms up, turns around Cameron Tragar style, and knocks in the bank shot.
Just too long there for Latham. Backcourt steal there for Eltham, and are able to finish off with a quick 2 off poor passing by the Hawks.
And no surprise, we see Matt Snowball come straight back in, go to the bench looking to sub in. And he will come in now. Both him and Ken Harrington were not pleased with the ball control from the Hawks. Under 2 minutes to go, and Eltham have actually taken the lead by a point. So Latham gets the ball in the low block. He's going to look to go back at Bradbury. Tries to make room for himself, got double team, tough look. Eltham with some good defensive plays here over the past couple minutes.
Bradbury on the perimeter. Latham standing right off. Not a threat down there for Eltham. Christian Williams now pick and roll situation. Just taking it easy.
And a shuffle of the pivot feet. And I think that came out the last time Bradbury had the ball. It did look like he moved them around a couple. There were some calls from the crowd. Umpire just keeping a closer eye on it on that occasion. And he did shuffle the feet. Double teamed Gibson, and Eltham come up with another steal, another turnover. Some big plays, as I just said before, from Eltham on the defensive end as they look to go to Grant in the low block. Tough fall-away jumper. Doesn't get it to go. Gibson gets the ball straight to Snowball. Fennell now on the wing. He's put in some good minutes. Looks very solid for the Hawks. Great move. Takes a leaf out of Fennell's book on that occasion. That Snowball went into his player, up and over the top. 2 points, he'll go to the line to shoot a bonus.
He is a class act, Matthew Snowball, been around for a number of years. Absolute legend down here at the Hawks, 300-game player, and just showing his expertise and experience there to Malvaso. You never know when he catches the ball with it, what he's going to do with it, whether he go off the dribble, to pass, to shoot. And in that situation, contorted the body, able to bank it in and go and one.
So Eltham feel like they've really had the momentum over the past, probably the last 3 or 4 minutes, but they actually trail at this point. I'm not sure, I think they just added the score onto the wrong team, but we'll get that to you. So here we go, down to single digits on the shot clock for Eltham. looking for the ball. Tough drive, spin, up and under. That's a great move on that occasion from Christian Williams. The score has been put up as Eltham up by 3.
Hawks can hold for the last shot of the quarter as they look to trap Truman. Quick swing of the ball. I think you'll find they'll get a reset. No.
Truman launches it and 3. He shot the ball excellent from downtown this season. Nathan Truman shooting 43% on the year. That's very solid. Down to 2 seconds. They're going to have to jack it up. Good defence from Trevor Latham. Matt Fennell, surprise, came up with a rebound. And that, my friends, is quarter time. It's Ringwood up by 3. The scores did get adjusted. We were right in thinking earlier. And it's Ringwood 19-16. Thoughts so far on that first quarter, Russell Lake?
Yeah, I agree with you, Hickey, there. That looks like there's a little bit of apprehension from the players, a little bit of sloppiness. Eltham's defensive intensity I've really liked to begin the game, forcing some really errant mistakes from the Hawks, able to capitalise in their backcourt. I think once players settle and they start knocking down the perimeter shots that we know both teams can, the game's going to really open up.
So a good start for Ringwood, although Eltham did bounce back very well towards the second part and second half of that first quarter. I believe you've got some stats over there for us, Russell.
Yeah, we do. Your boy Matty Fennell has started the first quarter, playing off 10 minutes in the first period, 7 and 8 in 10 minutes
in the first quarter.
In the first quarter. So great call by you to begin the game. Mike McKay, as you've corrected me at the start of the game, has 6 points. Snowy has 3, as does Nathan Truman. A really even spread for the Wildcats. Ava, Cameron, Grant and Waldron all 2 apiece, with Bradbury and Williams coming off the bench for 4 apiece.
And how many turnovers to Ringwood? Because it did appear they turned the ball over a lot in those last 3 or 4 minutes for the Hawks.
Yeah, very true. It did look that way. Only 4 for the quarter, which is still a lot. However, probably not as bad as it looked.
So Matt Fennell does sit down, but he's on track for pretty much a giant game if he keeps going the way he is. I don't think we're going to see a 30 and 30 from him, but he might get up there. A couple of sponsors to thank before we get into it. First off, Ringwood Nissan, home of the Hawks. Beautiful Nissan X-Trail. If you've seen that around, then you will be amazed and very thankful that the imports get to drive that beast around.
Absolutely, and as we approach half-time, might be worthwhile ordering some pizza from another one of our wonderful sponsors, Original Joe's, located at 66 Main Street, Croydon. I say, if you make the phone call now, I'm sure you could have delivery by the end of half-time.
And can speak from personal experience, a very, very, very tasty pizza from there. So we see off the inbound play for the restart. McKay misses, and it'll be Eltham to take it away. Long court pass. He gets it right back though. Luke Valentine. Chris Cameron back on the court for Eltham. Coming off the down low screen. Looked to reset his feet on that jump shot. Didn't make it either, James Malvaso, and it'll be Ringwood Hawks ball.
Yeah, another great Eltham junior there, Malvaso, who made the step over up to the champ men over the last few years. So hasn't had the impact that maybe a Waldron has making that step. It's still a very good player and great perimeter shooter.
So as we see Eltham getting into that press, 2-2-1.
Foot violation, was that, Hickey?
Yes, I believe so. I'm not sure what, I think Chris Cameron's complaining, but he did boot that one. If there was a pair of goal posts towards the Ringwood bench, it would have gone right through the middle. Quite clearly a foot violation, tapped out of bounds, and Eltham came off Eltham. Ringwood will keep it. Just 40 seconds in to the second quarter. They lead by 3, the Hawks. Truman with the ball, on-ball screen from Latham, goes over to McKay. He's really feeling it, and there's a blocking foul, this time called on Jackson Todd from the Wildcats.
Stephen Osborne coming out for the Hawks, and we welcome back Jacob Gibson.
If he can get going, the game will get away from Eltham very, very quickly. He can light it up from almost anywhere in the gym. So Snowball with the handoff, looks to spin. Some good defense on that occasion. Loose ball, finally gets it. We'll go again. Geez, that's a tough finish. And you've got to take your cap off to Matt Snowball. He stayed with it the entire time and finished brilliantly with their 2 points, putting Ringwood up by 5. On ball screen that occasion, coming low, looking for the feed down to Cameron. Double team comes from Ringwood. Kick back out, there should be a spare player. They look to go again double. Chris Cameron just got a little shove in the side. Didn't look like it was there. Tough man to move, so when he does move, it is very, very obvious.
Yeah, Latham not too happy with that call. I think Ken's a little bit surprised as he jumps up out of his seat.
So substitution on the floor, off steps Christian Williams, on comes Justin Ava, who was active during that first quarter, no doubt about that. First from Chris Cameron is good. As I said earlier, I've done the reverse mocker on him. He seems to be shooting the ball well, but there we go, on cue, give him the wrap and he misses the next one. So 4-point lead to the Hawks. They do get the ball in the hands of Snowball, but he gives it away quickly to McKay. Gets it right back to the Ringwood Hawks point guard. Goes to Latham. That's a nice looking shot. Falling away from Latham, no good. And the Wildcats have the ball.
Good defense.
Really attacking the rim hard, getting into that low block. It looks to be a focal point of the offense for Coach Trevor Lee for Eltham. And there is a blocking foul. It'll be a sideline ball for the Hawks as you see another substitution, this time for Eltham. Looks to be Sam Whelan.
Another Eltham junior taking the step up to the championship men this year.
Just 19 years of age, Sam Whelan.
Yeah, under 20 state player. Very talented and given them some good minutes off the bench this year.
It'll be interesting to see how he guards Nathan Trimmer, who is full of veteran tricks. McKay from deep. Finally, there we go. They get one to go, the Hawks. They're up by 7. And now a big couple of minutes here for the Wildcats. So just really taking their time. Luke Valentine looking to set things up. Backing down in the low block, Chris Cameron just gets that friendly roll and gets the 2 points.
Great defence there by Latham. You can't do much more than that.
Great take from Truman. And it's back out to a 7-point lead for the Hawks.
Whelan looking after the ball for Eltham. Drives baseline, steps out of court.
Ooh, and looked to have just jarred the ankle or something there. And he wants to be taken out almost immediately. He's not in a good way, I don't think. Coach Trevor Lee just taking his time on that substitution. And I think he might have just gone over the ankle by the way that he limped and quickly jumped up from it. And I know from personal experience that they can hurt.
No doubt about it. Snowball straight down the split line, couldn't convert. And Trevor Latham with an unusual tip in, almost going over the top of the backboard, but managed to fall back through the hoop. Just
getting the ball to drop in. Really important that Matt Snowball is aggressive on the offensive end.
You talk about Cameron being a three-point option, doesn't get that one. And Mike McKay on the offensive board there by Jordan Canavan and looking to put it back a second chance option, destroys the shot attempt, wiping it clean way out of court. So
I think he just said, get that weak stuff out of there, Russell.
Yeah, he may have. He may have.
Quick shot from Ava, no good. McKay comes down now. I've had the pleasure of seeing Mike McKay work out at the gym. Sounds a bit weird, but the bloke is an absolute beast.
Yeah, for anyone having to guard him on the Eltham side, you'd want to worry. For a guy that can handle the ball, shoot the ball, his physicality is immense. There aren't too many Eltham guys that could really match his physicality and his size for the position that he plays.
Ava, really good up fake, drew the push, and he will shoot 2 at the free throw line. Just did really well looking to sell the jump shot. Got his opposition player up in the air, then attacks the rim, draws the foul, will go to the line to shoot 2, Justin Ava. Chris Cameron just having words to the umpire. Not sure what about.
To be honest, Icky, there, I think they're discussing the potential possibly for an unsportsmanlike foul because of the direction that Ava kept going after the contact.
Everything does look a lot worse when you're up in the air going at full speed. The slightest of nudges can send you flying.
Absolutely.
Ava knocks down the first.
Despite the Ringwood faithful on the horns at the moment.
The Vuvuzelas, maybe. Back from the, I don't know, I think it was the 2006 World Cup. They're a menace, those Vuvuzelas. Anyways, here goes Matt Snowball. Thought about pulling up. Besides, why not? Gets it to Latham. Great up and under. Simon Grant, as we said earlier, excellent defender. Actually averages over a block a game. Did well to challenge that one, but was called for the foul on the body. And it's Trevor Latham, he will shoot 2. He shoots a solid 56% from the free throw line, only taken 50 during the regular season. Though.
Valentine has checked out for Eltham. They welcome back Ben Waldron.
And Latham makes the first. As we look over, Whelan still looking pretty uncomfortable with that right leg. Let's hope that he is okay. As Latham makes both, puts Ringwood up 30-21, 9-point margin. 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter. All down low, that low post focus we've seen a lot of, Russell.
Absolutely. The Hawks looking to double team it in bits and pieces, or at least edge Cameron to make a quicker decision. That occasion couldn't make the bucket on the turnaround. Hawks now, Jacob Gibson at the top, kicking to Snowball. Mike McKay again from the perimeter.
Not quite, looked good online, but just short. And Coach Harrington from Ringwood more than happy to let other guys other than Matt Snowball handle the ball. As you see Ava go that left hand again, couldn't finish, out of bounds. It'll be an Eltham ball. And in the past we've seen a lot of Matt Snowball gets the ball and he has the ball a lot dribbling at the point. Nobody else really plays the point because he's just that good at it. But more than happy to let some other guys bring the ball down the court. So 12 seconds down on the shot clock now. Ava again going to the left. This time trying to put it up. Grant. Mike McKay not pleased with the call. He thought it was going to be another block off the offensive rebound.
The crowd's pretty surprised by that call as well, I think, by the sounds of them. And they continue to build. The standing room on the other side is getting less and less.
A wry smile from Ken Harrington after that call. Did look like to be a lot of ball.
Simon Grant at the line.
Shoots a decent clip, 66% from the free throw line.
Lead now 8 for Ringwood. Now 7 as Grant makes the second.
So once again, this up-court pressure, but they leave Matt Snowball wide open. Goes to Truman in the corner. Think he was going to spot up. Doesn't get it, and they'll look to reset now. Quick ball moving across the top. Low block, that's a tough task for Waldron trying to defend it. McKay gives some great up fake, goes to Latham. Once again, another Ringwood player using their physicality but couldn't finish on that occasion. Simon Grant, great take, great find from Justin Ava. Grant finishes with 2 and Eltham cut the lead back to 5 points just past halfway here in the second quarter. Potentially a bit of a tough call. It is a Ringwood-friendly crowd.
Snowball just barreling into the paint, forcing the officials to call something for the contact generated there.
I don't think Justin Ava could have gotten away from the contact any quicker, but Snowball was good enough to draw the contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Great job there by our juniors and court sweeping.
Maybe. As we said, the umpire just finishing off the job. Might have gone a bit quick on the draw there, Russell. Matt Snowball to the line, and he knocks down the first. 71% free throw shooter on the year, Matt Snowball. So now the Eltham crowd getting a bit vocal. I think they'll count the points, and it might be a foul on Simon Grant, which is interesting because the shot went in, the foul's on Grant, and the Hawks will get the ball back potentially.
Simon Grant not arguing at all. Looks pretty disappointed with himself.
Is it 4 or 5? They're just trying to decide, the score bench, just taking their time, and it is 5. We get there eventually, so it should be 2 bonus shots, and geez, that hurts Eltham. That's a coach killer right there, isn't it, Russell?
It is, absolutely. And the 5th foul with 4 minutes 38 to go in the period. There is no doubt it'll be a focal point for Ken and the Hawks now to make sure they're generating contact on every possession possible, getting the Eltham faithful into foul trouble, let alone trying to get some gimmies from the charity stripe.
So for now, couldn't knock down the first or the second, so they get away with one there, Eltham. Simon Grant breathes a sigh of relief. As we see now, they look to answer back. They trail by 7. Ball with Waldron, then kicked over to the corner. Triple is short. Grant tried to get the rebound. Not quite. It was Jordan Canavan with the miss on that occasion. So Gibson thought about the pull-up. Nice little up fake. Jumper. He just can't get going at the moment, Gibson. Great cross-court pass. Kick to the corner now. Ava, 3-point bomb. Long. Trev Latham, big rebound. Good luck to you on down there, Ben Waldron. Latham says, someone come get it. I don't want it.
Snowy does just that, gets the Hawks going, but straight to Mike McKahey in the corner. Couldn't nail the triple. Jacob Gibson with the overboard, straight back to Snowy for another opportunity.
Up and down play, a lot of quick shots from both teams. Fennell can shoot that, not on that occasion. And another offensive rebound for the Hawks. They've just got to take advantage of it now.
Trevor Lee won't be happy with the opportunities that Ringwood have been given at the moment with the lack of defensive rebounding by his crew. Snowy
pointer, unusual, we don't see him take many of those.
Can't get one to fall, the Hawks. Eltham straight down to the Cameron in the low post. Good spin move. Trevor did a good job. Comes away with the defensive rebound.
Not a bad look from Cameron, but he's just got to get his legs underneath him and lift those ones up and over the rim. So just 3 minutes remaining now in this first half. It's flown by. McKahey kicks to the corner. Snowball. Does he think about another one? Goes against it. McKahey gets to the high post, pulls up the jumper. That one not as pretty as the one from in the first quarter. And it'll be Jordan Canavan to bring it down and look to go against Snowball. Quick pull up. That is an ugly looking shot. And both teams just really struggling over the past couple of minutes, Russell Lee.
Yeah, absolutely. 32-25 in a half of basketball almost at a state championship men level is a little bit unheard of.
Behind the back was good from Snowball. Off fake. That is as pretty as it gets. A veteran move.
That's exactly what you want your point guard and veteran leader to be able to do. When his teammates aren't going, he takes it upon himself to create something, and a high percentage shot at that. So credit to Snowy for getting the job done.
Very well put from you there, Russell. Chris Cameron, he can shoot that. He would look pretty confident. He was running away before the ball had even made it to the basket. But it is a bit long on that occasion. Under 2 minutes. And the Hawks with a 9-point advantage. They have the chance to push it out to double digits. We see a horn set up at the top there. Latham with the ball. Deep mid-range. They'll look to Fennell in the low block. Going against Simon Grant. Good battle. Kicks out a Snowball. Another 3-point attempt. No good this time, and Cameron with the rebound. So Wildcats looking to get something going in this last minute and a half, just to bring themselves back into this game at the big break. Waldron with the pull-up jump shot. That was ugly, and it has been a string of poor shots. Gibson on the fast break. He needs to get going. Great catch. Little fake. Gets the 2 points to go. Trevor Lee's seen enough. He calls a timeout, and it's Ringwood with an 11-point lead. A minute 16 to go here in the second. While we have a quick break, quick shout-out to Optus at Stud Park. See our own brilliant team manager, Luke Brody, for all your communication needs. Ask for him, he'll be able to help you out, no doubt about that. Russell, a minute 16, a big finish here to this first half for Eltham, for both teams. Yeah, absolutely, and we just talked about Matthew Snowball taking control offensively and then throws that NFL-style full-court pass to Jacob Gibson, running the floor, looking for that easy transition, hard-run bucket, and does the job. 11-point lead to Ringwood. Trevor Lee with the timeout.
And as you say, 1:16 to go. There is no doubt Trevor will be providing a bit of a spray to the Wildcats, looking for them to close this back to single digits to give them a little bit of confidence and hope heading into the second half.
And you'll hate to see that full court pass because we've seen it thousands of times. Well, maybe not thousands, but close to, from Matty Snowball. It's his bread and butter. 11-point lead for Ringwood. They can string another couple unanswered baskets here. It could get ballooned out to over 15. So an important stretch for Eltham. Try and claw this game back, get it into single digits. It'll be Justin Ava to bring the ball down for the Wildcats.
We talked about the lack of scoring so far. Eltham shooting 24% from the field versus Ringwood's 36%.
Simon Grant doesn't mind that mid-range jumper. You mentioned it earlier that he needs to be knocking those down, and he does on this occasion.
Yeah, much needed bucket there for Eltham. Back to 9, a minute to go, Ringwood ball. Offensive foul. Illegal block there from Trevor Latham. Malvaso looking to inbound it.
Substitution on the floor. We see Christian Williams step in for Ben Waldron, who Waldron hasn't quite got going yet. So tough up and under shot, manages to roll in. Well done from Malvaso. So now back to 7 points. We mentioned that the Wildcats needed a little bit of a burst, and they got it. Down to just 35 seconds remaining now. They go to Fennell, look to Gibson, good seal, and he just rushed the shot a little bit. The Hawks should get the last shot of the game, you would assume, of the half I should say. A quick miss from Ava, they can hold for one. That's what the entire bench is yelling out.
12 seconds, Jacob Gibson with the ball, hardly defended by Ava.
Down to 6, 5, pull up 3. No, it's long, normally a good look for him, and there's a foul, and it'll be 2 free throws. And that is another tough call. Just looking to go hard at the ball there, Gibson, but was pinged for the foul, and because they're in the bonus, there'll be a chance for Justin Ava to shoot 2 and bring the lead down yet again. On the rebound, we see Latham step out. He's not too pleased. There's only 2 seconds left, coach.
Yeah, Tim Martin stepping in for 2 seconds. Trevor Latham extended break into halftime.
Ava misses the first. Box out and don't foul. That's the instruction for the Ringwood Hawks. 2 seconds is enough time to get an offensive rebound. 1.9. Just gets it into Osborne. Launches it up. Gibson try to do the miracle alley-oop. But we've played a half of a basketball here at the Rings. And the Ringwood Hawks have got out to as much as 11. But they lead 36-30. We're going to take a quick couple of minutes break. We'll join back just leading into the second half with some stats for the half. Enjoy. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. Hello and welcome back to the rings. It is game 2 of this semi-final series between Ringwood and Eltham. And it is the Hawks, the hometown Hawks, that lead 36-30. I'm joined by Russell Lee. Russ, you've just got some halftime stats for us over there.
Yeah, look, we spoke about Matt Fennell. It hasn't had much of an impact in the second quarter, but finished the half with 7 points, 8 rebounds. Matthew Snowball definitely turned it on when his team needed. Currently sitting on 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. And Mike McKay has added 9 also for the Hawks. A little bit more of a spread for Eltham. We talked about Simon Grant nailing that perimeter jump shot. He currently has 8 and 8. Great stats for him, but they will look to their other stars. Chris Cameron currently on 5 and 5. Justin Ava only 5 points in
1 of
this
7
one.
shooting as well from Ava.
Yeah.
Waldron just 1 of 6, and then on the other side of the ball you got Jacob Gibson shooting 1 of 8. Just some of the star players just taking a little while to get going.
Yeah, spot on there. I mentioned the shooting percentages towards the end of the second period. Eltham finished the half shooting 28% from the field, whilst Ringwood 35%.
The deep ball, it's been an interesting story. Both teams can definitely light it up, but they haven't done so yet. Ringwood just shooting 2 of 14 from distance, and Eltham 0 of 8 from range. Now, what I forgot to mention at the start, a little game for everyone at home if they want to play. I don't know how many I'm on now, but just how many voice breaks I'm going to have during this broadcast. I've been a bit under the weather this week, so a fun game at home if you're looking for something even more than this game that's being played. Just to count how many I'm not going through puberty again, I can promise you that. Just been a bit under the weather. I'm probably already up to 3 or 4. You've been kind though not to mention it, Russell. I thank you for that, mate.
Yeah, I've just been pretending I haven't heard them, Hickey, because they're the sorts of things that we rip on guys for at training. So when we're not on the court, I'll be nice to you. That's fine.
And I would never rip into you if one happened to you during a spray at a timeout. I would never have done that in my life.
That is such a lie.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah, it ruins the moment when your teammates are copping a spray, that voice break occurs, that big grin on their face means it has had 0 impact. So let's put that one to rest. Under a minute to go before we get on with the third quarter. Ringwood lead 36 to Eltham 30.
I could talk about that all night, but we won't. We'll move on.
Oh, thank you so much.
We'll save both of us a little bit of pride. And it'll be interesting to see if Eltham comes out again in that press, and they went into a zone briefly. You'd have to be very, very careful going into a zone.
Shout out to another couple of our sponsors down here at the Ringwood Hawks. The Bendigo Community Bank in Ringwood are great supporters of the Ringwood Hawks Schools and Community Program. Do a great job for us down there. As do our naming rights sponsor, the Noel Jones in Ringwood.
Now, whether you're selling
or buying or renting
or even renting, Russell,
head down to see Brett and his team on Maroondah Highway to get looked after whether you're in the market for a new home, selling your home, or looking to rent.
Selling, buying or renting. Noel Jones, get on down. We are away here for the second half. It's Ringwood by 6 points, 36-30. It's been low scoring. Look for the game to open up a bit here in the second half. Bradbury starting the game. In the restart, I should say. Double pick coming. Waldron looking to get going. He's had his troubles. Kicks to Ava, who's also had his troubles. Couldn't bank in the 3. Gibson with the rebound quickly off the snowball.
Straight back to give it to Gibson. Fennell. Oh, nice hesitation. Using the rim for protection. Reverse layup.
It's one of his go-to moves, that reverse layup. And
no doubt about it.
With aplomb.
Valentine running the point for Eltham. Looking to get Waldron involved.
Same as Ava, who I'm happy to note has got the matching shoes and socks, which is pretty impressive. Gave the assist to Bradbury on that occasion, but it didn't go. Grant just sleeping a little bit on Fennell, shoved off, got his own rebound, just padding the stats, but couldn't finish, and Eltham will get a back day trail by 8.
I think he lost his footing there, Hickey. A little bit surprised when he pulled down the O-board after missing that layup.
Simon Grant, there's that mid-range jumper, bit rushed on that occasion, and it'll be an Eltham basketball.
12 seconds on the shot clock, baseline inbound.
You could tell that one was a bit rushed from Grant because there's just about no backspin on the basketball whatsoever. All the earlier shots in the first half were beautiful out of the hand. Got great position on the catch there. Kick out. Deep two. Not quite. Simon Grant got the offensive ball, but Gibson took it right out of his hands. Away comes Matt Fennell. Ben Waldron looking to be a bit more of a facilitator here to start this second half. Gibson just loses control. He struggled a bit tonight. And the blocking foul is called as we see something just a little bit special after the whistle from Matt Snowball.
He is a magician with the ball, especially going to the rim. Not surprised to see that go in, even though it won't be counted.
Magician is the perfect phrase. They go to the low post entry. Sean Clark missed a lot of the first half with foul trouble. He's already got 2. Looks to go on Bradbury. Couldn't get the ball to go. Gets his offensive rebound. Puts it back up and in. And it is so important to have that man out there, Sean Clark, averages 12 and 9 on the year.
He wasn't happy with that one too. It felt like he got contact from Bradbury, shaking his head at the referees, running backwards up the floor. Ava knocks it down. We spoke about him getting involved. Fennell turns the ball over on the baseline. Simon Grant.
A couple times now, and Ava quick 5 points in a row. He needed to get going. Didn't have the greatest first half, but 5 quick points for Justin Ava. He averages 15 and close to 5 assists on the year, as we see McKay here. Didn't get the foul call. Waldron goes the Euro step. Didn't sell anybody out on that. Ava wants it again. He's feeling it. Not quite on that occasion. The big man Bradbury. Surely a timeout from Ken Harrington, who decides against it, and Sean Clark has just absolutely dropped Luke Valentine. Now, if Valentine was talking any trash, I think that might make him quiet down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that was intentional. I didn't get to see full scope of what occurred there.
Gibson looking to get back going the other way, not quite. Clark, offensive rebound, up fake, got Bradbury up in the air, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. So this game has opened up a little bit. Scoring coming in bunches at the moment. Justin Ava getting fired up and really starting to find his stroke, and Sean Clark down the other end doing the exact same.
Surely Clark laughing at the line at the moment. I think there's some of the Eltham followers in the stands mouthing off at him. Found whatever they said rather amusing.
Now, I can make you an absolute guarantee, take it to the bank, they would not say it to him standing face to face.
No, very, very true, and I don't think many people in this world would.
You'd be a very, very confident man, woman or child if you decided to. Missed the first. Now a chance to push out the forward the second. And does.
Silly thing to say by us though, because once you get to know Sean Clark, he's a ripper bloke.
No doubt about that.
Great sense of humour, so all fun for Sean. Very passionate basketball player and Ringwood faithful.
So here's Valentine, goes out to Ava, who's really feeling it at the moment. And as we say that, he knocks it down and he asks the Eltham crowd to get up, get behind us here. He's hit 8 points in a row. And there's a travel call, and he was even starting to get into Sean Clark. Eltham getting a bit chirpy, and Ava gives him the slap on the backside. There's a bit of feeling out here. Justin Ava almost walking over to the Ringwood bench, clapping in their direction, trying to get Sean Clark fired up. The Hawks still, though, lead by a point. They've done enough to hold on to that advantage despite a good run here from Eltham. So 3.5 gone. Russell, what do you expect to see from Coach Ken Harrington coming out of this time out?
Oh, look, he'll be talking about the impact that Ava's had to begin this period. 8 points in a row, as you mentioned, is unacceptable, especially 2 shots from deep, uncontested. So it's about making sure that we're communicating around the perimeter, ensuring that no open threes are given, running guys off the line into traffic, as well as being careful with the ball, especially in the backcourt. Can't afford those turnovers that we saw in the first period, and again at the start of this third period.
So one final quick shout out as well, some more of our sponsors. FODMAP Foods, quick shout out. As we said, our naming rights sponsors Noel Jones. And also don't forget to follow the Hawks on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Now I know the person who runs those sites, and I can say that they've royally stitched me up with the photo and the nickname that they've given me. I'm not displeased with the photo, it's more the nickname and the glow background on the Photoshop, but we'll move on quickly from that.
So it'd be incorrect of me to bring up the fact that the nickname on that poster is Dr. Smooth.
As we see, Justin Ava nailed 2 points. I don't know where that's come from, definitely not self-coined, but as I said, I want to move on as quickly as I possibly can. So Ava scored 10 quick points, Snowball with a great handle, Fennell thought about it, great post entry, and Sean Clark gets in with a 3-second call. Now I find that interesting from the umpire because it was basically as soon as Clark got the ball, he was tangled up. Looked like the ref blew the whistle originally to call the foul, but it decided to call too long inside the key.
Yeah, it definitely had that appearance. Nonetheless, it is Eltham ball. Valentine looking after the rock at the point. We got a tangle between Ava and Truman during that stoppage of play. Ken brought Truman in for that defensive task on Ava we talked about, making sure that he doesn't get any more looks as he did to start the third period.
Definitely got his tail up. Justin Ava wants the ball in his hands as quickly as he can. And a bit of an irritant out there, but geez, he can really shoot the basketball when he gets going. Simon Green up fake, run into a brick wall. Cannot let him get fired up. Here's Ava, and there's going to be a foul in the low block on Sean Clark. Sticks his arms out. He's not happy with it. It looks like it's happening down both ends, but the call's going against Ringwood at the moment.
Yeah, he didn't quite catch what happened there. Focus on the ball at the point. Eltham baseline. Ava looks to inbound.
Ava baseline ball, surely not again. No, that was an ugly one. Snowball, quick flick, Truman away. Double-handed block was called a foul. And there's a technical foul on the court as well.
I believe there was a kicked ball there.
It was kicked by 2 Eltham players and then kicked by Truman. And the foul is on. I'm not
Justin
sure.
Ava. They've just called the tech foul, number 8, Justin Ava.
Just really interesting call. He was feeling the ball, feeling the play a lot, Justin Ava. Eltham have their tail up. Truman goes down to 2-2. Then they'll get a bonus one, and then they will get the ball from the side. And just a confusing, baffling play from Eltham. Why would they do that?
Yeah, I don't think Waldron was arguing too hard about the foul call. He got an awful lot of ball chasing Truman on that fast break opportunity. Unfortunately, copped a lot of shoulder in the contact as well.
So Ava really not pleased, trying to explain that he was just sticking his leg out, but it did definitely look like he gave the old hoof to the ball. So it'll be 3 free throws in a row for Truman. And this is the third, but made the previous 2. Ringwood get the ball back. Really just a momentum-sapping play. Must be very frustrating for Coach Trevor Lee.
Ringwood snatched back the lead, 43-42. Only lead by 1, but inbound the ball now for another opportunity to extend their lead.
So a real opportunity, wrestle the momentum back. Mike McKay, this is too strong. Good luck in there, Ben Waldron, if you're going to try and stop that beast inside the paint. So the old 4-point play for Ringwood. Waldron took the 3, seemed to hit the ground relatively easily. Gets back up now. 3-on-2 fast break, great pass. McKay looked like he was going to get upstairs. Decided just to lay it in. I think he lost control of the ball. I was almost up out of my seat.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with that, Hickey. That could have been a very nice slam for the crowd sitting on the baseline in our club rooms, but unfortunately a little bit more of a casual layup. Takes the bucket anyway.
Up by 5. They've really gone on a roll since that technical foul. Way to slice the defense. Looked like a double dribble, and it was. He sliced the defense really well, Justin Ava, but just put that second hand on the ball, and now a delay of game warning on Ben Waldron.
Valentine taking a seat for Eltham. We welcome back Christian Williams, as does Simon Bradbury taking a seat for Chris Cameron returning for the Wildcats.
Safe to say that Trevor Lee wasn't too receiving of that delay of game warning from the umpire. He just shook his head and walked away. So under 5 minutes remaining here in the third. Ringwood up by 5. Eltham made a run, but the Hawks did really well now to wrestle back the momentum. Snowball with the ball in his hands. If Sean Clark hit that, the crowd might go nuts. And he looks over to the crowd, he looks over at us. He says, thank you very much. Out by 8, it's ballooned back out. Double team comes, Grant jump shot, up fake, no. Draws the contact, finishes, says, where's my foul? It's a Ringwood ball. 6-point lead, Eltham. Sorry for Ringwood.
Classy finish there by Grant, really, really classy. Bit of physicality under there. Did a great job to put that in.
Ball now to Fennell, kick back, deep 2 foot was over the line. McCahey knocks it down, and the Ringwood fans really starting to warm up now. Waldron up fake. Great job to try and get round the defence, but missed. 8-point lead the Hawks. 3.5 left. Clark, I think he thought about pulling up. Kick to the corner. McCahey, that one's a 3, but it's long for now. Not quite. Good rebound on that occasion from Christian Williams.
A lot of contact there by Snowball as he ran at Simon Grant as he caught the ball in the front court. No call. Christian Williams running the set now. Cameron in the post.
Down to 3 on the shot clock. They've got to get it up. Grant. There's that mid-range, and it was way off. A really frantic couple of minutes here for both teams. McCahey looking. That's going to be a foul on Waldron. Got downhill on that occasion, Mike McCahey, and Waldron just stuck the arm out to try and stop the freight train that was coming down into the lane.
Rotations now for Eltham.
There'll be 2 shots as well, Mike McCahey.
Jordan Canavan coming back into the game for Eltham, as does Malvaso, James Malvaso. Waldron taking a rest, as does Ava.
So the first there from McCahey is good. Has the chance to push it out to double digits, which midway through this quarter, look, Eltham took the lead. They looked really like they were going to run over the top of the Hawks in the third, but it's been a great fight back, and you have to say that technical foul was really the catalyst. Yeah,
it's definitely swung momentum back in the direction of the Hawks, building that double-digit lead as you just mentioned.
So under 3 minutes left here in the third. Double team on Grant, kick out, that's Malvaso, down to single digits on the shot clock. Grant again, Malvaso thought about it earlier, shoots it this time. Does he get the roll? No. Matty Fennell came up with the rebound, and the Hawks will bring it down through Matt Snowball. Look for the trailer, Sean Clark, not again. No, not on this occasion. Matty Fennell does it one more time. Kicks to McCahey, drives hard on the right hand, back out to Fennell. Is he feeling it? You betcha. He sticks up the arm, pockets the 3 ball. Out to a 13-point lead for Ringwood, and this has a chance of getting a little bit out of hand for Eltham.
2 minutes to go, under 2 minutes to go in the third period. Eltham really struggling to find the bottom of the net. The Hawks physical on defence, bumping cutters. Malvaso throws one up, banks it in.
Double points for a bank, Russell?
Well, only if you call it, and I didn't hear it from the floor there, Hickey, so no, it'll just be 3 rather than the 6 he could have got.
I think I have seen that in the FIBA official rules. A minute and a half left in the third. It's been a very entertaining quarter, an entertaining game. Fennell, he wants 3 more. Couldn't get the roll. The points are going to count. Mike McCahey will go to the line and look to make it.
He is an athlete, absolute athlete. Came over the top of his defender to tap that in and get an opportunity to make it a 3-point play from the line. At this point, Hickey, I might point out too, the crowd has continued to build for this game, and it's worth mentioning that, you know, Maroondah City Council govern our stadium. We're really proud of that relationship and the floor that we get to play on. However, it goes to show that as the Ringwood faithful grow, our club grows, there isn't a need to have a look at options for expanding this wonderful place we get to play in.
No doubt about that. More teams each year, more fans each year, everybody really getting around the different teams that are playing. As we see Ringwood come up with the ball. A minute to go here in the third. They're looking to run the break. Gibson Clark wanted to give it back. Baseline cut. Gibson floated. That was a travel. And that play has happened a number of times where people have gathered the ball, then taken their steps. Hasn't been called until when.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate. I think Jacob knew it deep down. He's not arguing. Get back on defence. Simon Grant having a quick rest as Jackson Todd comes in for the final minute of the third period.
He inbounded the ball. Christian Williams was about to go talk to his coach. His teammate had to yell out to him that he's inbounded the ball already. Let's get onto it. Let's get it going. So down to just 12 seconds on the shot clock for Eltham. Speaking of Williams, there he is. Kicked on one more. That time, Jordan Canavan couldn't finish. Gibson with the rebound. Then get a 2-for-1 here, Ringwood, if they push the ball.
I think that's exactly what he's doing.
McKay, that'll be a 3. Took the hit. Nailed the shot. He turned around and had a little look at Christian Williams as to say that is all day. And it is a timeout on the floor. Coach Trevor Lee realises this is a 16-point ball game. Ringwood have ballooned out. And I think it's actually a flopping warning from what I just saw. The umpire went over and spoke to Ken Harrington. The handed gesture that he did is a flopping warning. Only reason I know that is because teammate of mine is sitting on the champ men bench today. Kate Harrington. Kate Finolani. Quick shout out to him. I think he's had more flopping warnings than anybody in our league this year.
Which a little bit disappointing for him because he is an excellent defender and loves to put his body on the line. So we love giving him stick for it. But yeah, shout out to Kay Fidolani, one of our Victorian Youth Championship players, as is Matt Roberts. Not so much known for his flopping warnings, but the wonderful shot choices he makes for me in games. Ongoing joke, as is his poor choice of haircut quite regularly.
Has been known to channel his inner Dustin Martin. I don't want to get started on that. We'll be here for another couple of hours. He's growing out a bit now, though. He's getting there.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit more respectable. Actually, now that we sit here and look, Cade Fidolani's haircut is way worse than Matthews.
So 26 seconds left in the third quarter. 16-point margin. Eltham will have the ball. It's about a 1 second difference between the shot clock and game clock. Ball off to Williams now. Then off to Malvaso. They want to get the ball to Cameron. Shot the deep 2. That's an air ball and a push out. I think the foul's going to be on Matt Snowball. It'll be baseline ball, 6 seconds to go, I think.
So shot clock irrelevant now. 6.2 seconds left on the clock. Eltham baseline inbound.
Just Matt Snowball's first personal foul, so nothing to worry about there. Who are we looking at in this play? I would keep an eye on number 41, Jordan Canavan. Let's have a look. Chris Cameron, big push off from Cameron. Deep 2. Sean Clark looking as to say, geez, that's a bit rough. As we see, the full court pass from Snowball, not quite. 14-point lead to the Ringwood Hawks, though, entering the three-quarter time break. It's been a fantastic performance from them and a big swinging quarter both ways. Eltham came out firing. Justin Ava was excellent, but then a technical foul to that man, Ava. The momentum swing right back the way of the Hawks, and they've ballooned the lead out to 14, and they really started to get that outside shot going, Russ.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike McKay has really stepped up for the Hawks. Now with 23 points, 7 rebounds. Fennell a factor across the third period also, sitting on 12 points, 11 rebounds. Jacob Gibson struggles from the field. 1 of 9, but 2 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, doing a little bit across the floor to help his team. Snowball, 9 points, 3 boards and 5 dimes for the Hawks. Ava, as you said, got going in that third period early, 15 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Grant, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Still quiet. Chris Cameron, 1 of 6 from the field, 5 points. Ben Waldron, 1 of 8 from the field for 2 points. Simon Bradbury's been solid off the bench for 6 points, 5 rebounds. But it's that shooting percentage overall for Eltham, 31%. Has increased slightly, but they really do struggle from the field at the moment. The Hawks increased slightly to a nicer looking 40% from the field.
And no doubt that technical foul will be spoken about as one of the big points of that game, of this game I should say.
So starting the fourth period, the fourth and final term of this Game 2 semi-final series. Matthew Snowball, Mike McCahey, Matthew Fennell, Jacob Gibson and Sean Clark.
For Eltham, we've got Christian Williams, number 21, number 44, Jackson Todd, big Chris Cameron, number 3 in the middle, Justin Ava back on number 8 and number 41, Jordan Canavan. The last period, it's win or go home for Eltham. If they drop this game, they are eliminated. For the Hawks, if they win this, we won't have to come back tomorrow and they will book themselves a place in the grand final.
Williams all over Snowball as Sean Clark gives it to him at the top of the key.
Gibson coming off. He hasn't been able to fire up, which proves the Ringwood Hawks performance is even more impressive. Snowball try for the foot pass over the top. But Chris Cameron, he's seen that a couple of times, stuck out the mitts and grabbed that one.
Cameron, top of the key.
Really needs to get involved. He looks to get fired up on that occasion, misses in amongst the trees. A great rebound from Christian Williams. Ava, is he still feeling it? No, not quite. And Sean Clark gets the rebound and away the Ringwood Hawks come. And it's going to be a blocking foul on Jordan Canavan. That Snowball, deceptively quick, very hard to stay in front of, very crafty with the ball in his hands.
Full court pressure here by Eltham. Great cut by Jacob. Opposite side of the floor to enable Fennell to inbound the ball.
Jacob Gibson drives baseline. Quickly trying to get the ball into Sean Clark, but the ball comes Eltham's way. Now they look to push the break, they hold it up. Just a quick score check. Now, other game in state champion tonight. It's early stages of that one. 3.5 to go in the first, and Waverley up 12-11. They win tonight, they will progress to the grand final. Ava in the corner, not quite. Good rebound.
Yeah, it's the side of the backboard. Todd there able to get his hands on it and throw it back up off the glass for 2.
So maybe that technical foul just rattling Ava a little bit. The Hawks easily get through Eltham's press that time. And Sean Clark was smart enough to go up and over, and he just gives the friendly little pat on the backside back to Justin Ava, returning the favour. He said, what happened to all that up and about, tail up stuff, mate?
Psychological warfare.
Not so subtle either, I might add. That one was, but earlier not so much. That was the first. After some early foul trouble, he's really come into his own in this second half. He's been very good. Such a presence down low for the Hawks, such a target as well. Nails the second. He's a pretty solid free throw shooter on the year, shooting close to 70%, which for a big man is very good.
65-51, 14-point lead to the Hawks.
So once again, they're trying to get the ball down to Cameron. Clark doing a good job. He's in there for a long time, Cameron. Finally he gets it now. Clark right there, in his shorts there with him. Quick shot. No, that was never going to go. Snowball with the ball. They might have a fast break opportunity, but he decides against it. A little behind the back. Around 3, around 4, around the back pass. Sean Clark will go to the line to shoot 2. Oh, and he wanted some of Ava. He wanted some of Ava as well. Justin Ava goes flying backwards. I don't think the hit was quite that hard. Matt Snowball just saying, take your time here, Sean Clark. You've got this, mate. How about the play from Snowy, though? Dribbled around 3, went around the back pass. Pretty spectacular. And Sean Clark will shoot 2. Matty Fennell just speaking to Ava. I think the two know each other. And he's just saying, what's that head flying back on that one?
No love lost between these two teams, especially when the stakes are this high. And Clark nails the first. Lead out to 15 now.
So it was a heavy hit from Ava. Tough job to get Sean Clark on the ground. Nails both. Substitution on the floor. Looks like Simon Grant and Waldron back on the floor.
Out go Williams and Todd. So Trevor Lee back to his starters. If they're going to have any opportunity to get back into this game, 16 points down, 7:55 to go. This is the contingent to do it.
So a big moment, big couple minutes of this game. What's going to happen? Waldron hasn't got going. Looking for Chris Cameron. They've locked down Ava as well, the Hawks. They finally get it to Cameron in the low block. Great pass. Grant was fouled. That is good vision from Chris Cameron. I think it looks like he has a good rapport with the umpires, but he does go up after almost every play, Chris Cameron, and not pleased with the treatment he cops. It'll be Simon Grant to shoot 2 to cut the lead down to 15 and then 14. And it's wide and no good from Simon Grant. Just over 7.5 to play in the final quarter. Grant makes the second. And once again, this full court pressure, 2-2-1 by the looks of things from Eltham. They just need to get the ball over here, the Hawks, and they do with about 2 seconds to spare. Matt Snowball looking to really set things up. McCahey takes a good dribble to his right, pulls up, couldn't quite make it.
Simon Grant with another board. Ava pushes to Waldron.
And a head knock, they ran into each other. Clark and Fennell knocked heads. Clark took the hit from Cameron, and it was Clark and Fennell. A bit of friendly fire on that occasion. They're both a little bit shook up.
Yeah, still a bit slow to get up the floor. Looks like Ken will bring Latham in for Clark.
Double screen. Gibson looking to attack. Wheels his way around. Kicks out to Fennell. Good contest from Waldron. But Matt Fennell, and he likes it as well. The shout ends up into the air. It's a 16-point lead for Ringwood.
Obviously, that head knock with Sean has knocked some sense into him.
Knocked some sense. As you say, he gets it again. Draws the contact. Oh, and one.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. He flexes. He's up and about.
He goes straight at, I'm not sure if it was at the Eltham bench or the Ringwood bench, but he flexes, he thumps his fist on his chest, and he says, let's go. Maybe a bit louder than I did it, but he said, let's go.
Might have been friendly fire, but clearly that headbutt from Sean Clark has got him motivated.
Might be a new pre-game ritual for the whole side.
Well, as we talked about, but a brave man to cop a headbutt from Sean Clark before every game.
Matty Fennell. Free throws good. You really want to knock down the free throw after celebrating like that, and he does.
Absolutely.
He's an absolute star, Matt Fennell. Up and under. Waldron took some heavy contact, no foul. He's had a dog of a day, and Jacob Gibson takes it. It's a 19-point lead, and it could be a case of too far back now for Eltham. Well, not again. Fennell. No, and the foul's going to be on McCahey. No? Yes, it is. Not happy with it.
That triple would have brought the house down. Ava really feeling that contact from Mike McKay.
And there's a bit of chat between Ava and McKay. Takes a confident man to have a chat when he's down 1-0 in the series, down 19 points, 6 minutes to go. But that's the kind of thing Justin Ava does to get himself fired up, and it worked earlier. Will it work again? This time it's a quick 2 from Luke Valentine. Still yapping and jawing down the court. McKay and Ava. Fennell handling the ball, he can do it all. Backdoor cut, he thought about the triple. Maybe picked up his dribble a bit early. Latham to Snowball, down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Spins baseline. Up and under, double clutch. Somehow got his own ball back. Don't know how he did it, but he did. He's a magician, as you said earlier, Ross.
Absolutely. Finds Mike cutting, unable to finish. Trev with the O board, but unable to finish also. Justin Ava pushing the ball hard for Eltham, but chooses wisely to reset to Valentine.
There was the defense from Simon Grant. Did a really good job down the other end, but then a turnover on that occasion from Luke Valentine. Matt Snowball putting his body on the line and earning the ball. Now, just quickly, while we've got a second, have you seen the arms on our umpire over there? He is a solid unit. I'm just pointing it out, Russell.
That it is. I can't say that it's been a focal point of the game, but
you've got to give credit to the man.
Aiden
Baker, quick shout out. I mean, I don't think he could get a smaller top, but he's really quite popping out of it.
We talked about, some physical guys on the floor here. Maybe Aiden might jump onto one of the sides next year. And bring some physicality.
I think he's heard us and he's called the floor wipers out just so he can get an extra 15 seconds of call time about his guns. Credit to you, Aiden Baker. We'll move back to the basketball. Just over 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It is a massive 17-point lead to Ringwood. They lead 73-56. And it could almost be good night for Eltham at this point. They have to make their run soon, and they have to make it quickly. Fennell with the ball, and they're happy just to take some time off the clock, get a shot off late in the clock. Down to single digits. They're looking for McCahey in the post. They like that matchup against Waldron. Up fake from Fennell. Falling away jumper. Did everything but drop. You wouldn't have been surprised if that went down. He is feeling it. Here's Waldron, has struggled. Malvaso back to Waldron. In and out dribble, up and under. Geez, that's pretty. That was pretty. Some fancy footwork from Waldron. We've also seen Justin Ava head to the bench. He still looked a bit shook up from the hit he copped earlier. But they might want him back out there because they might need their three-point shooter. Snowball up and under, no foul. For now, not quite. He was off celebrating. Latham, no. Latham again, no. McCahey, no, and finally we get a rebound, a clean rebound, and a loose ball. Eltham will come away with it. Just over 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, all over the boards there, the Hawks, but always Malvaso banks in a second triple for the game. Kenny Harrington grabs the timeout as Eltham cut the lead back to 12 in favour of the Hawks, 73-61. Not often that you see someone go a couple of banks in a game.
Maybe he does it on purpose. You see one bank and you think, no, he didn't mean to do that from the perimeter. Two in a game, that's very unusual. You start to think that maybe he's doing that on purpose. Why not? The backboard's there, why not use it?
Exactly right. 4:05 left in the period.
12-point ball game, 73, and just that three-pointer, just bringing them back and giving them a sniff, the Wildcats. But yet again, the foul count could cost them down the stretch. Another foul on Eltham, and it will be free throws for Ringwood.
Very true. Ringwood, an excellent team from the charity stripe in terms of their shooting percentage. So it'll be something that Eltham want to stay away from.
And just use their body so well inside the paint. A number of the Ringwood players just really, really well done inside the paint to draw that contact. And a lot of the time they still finish the basket, which is even more important.
Absolutely. Ringwood inbounding the ball. Eltham continuing that full court pressure, denying Truman, who's checked into the game.
Maybe for a bit more of a defensive presence. Gibson takes a seat. As Gibson realised his stroke wasn't on, and he's done some really good one-percenters, crashing the boards, trying to find his teammates. Give credit to him and recognising that there's other guys that were really going during this game. Great rip from McCahey. I thought he was winding up to dunk that one, but draws the foul, and it'll be 2 shots to Mike McCahey.
And there's that fifth foul you talked about. Focus out of the timeout for Ken and the Hawks to attack the rim, causing every foul count here to send the Hawks to the line.
And the first is short, maybe a bit of fatigue creeping in there. Back over in the other game, it is Waverley up 23-22 at the start of the second quarter. They will be missing Matty Hodgson, who is off with the Australian basketball team. Does have some injury troubles over there, but it will be a massive coup for him to be over there playing and experiencing that. But back to this one. Once again, Cameron trying to do that flick pass over the top. It was wide this time. Snowball pushing the ball up. They might slow down. Truman flick, McCahey spin. That's a travel, I think, and it's called.
Ken Harrington signalling to his Hawks to just settle down. They did a great job pushing the ball. Truman gave up an open three-point shot rightly. Gave it to Mike Cutting in the key. just don't need to force any offence at this stage. 13-point lead, 3:22 left on the clock.
Jump shot is no good from the elbow there. That was Luke Valentine. Truman will get the ball up, kicks to Clark. Oh, I think he's thinking about the jump shot. Decides against it. Now they will slow things down, as Ken Harrington asked. Oh my Lord! That is just brute strength. And we see over on the Ringwood bench, Jacob Gibson just flexing, and that is exactly what Mike McKay did. That was just brute force inside the paint there.
Yeah. Unbelievable to take contact from basically two players and then manage to throw that off the glass for an and one situation.
You'd have to say nearly close to everybody else out in the court would have hit the ground after that hit. He stays standing, he pushes through and buries it, and could very well have buried this game.
Yeah, hard for Eltham to come back from a 16-point deficit now with under 3 minutes to go. Waldron tries, banks the running layup.
Ava back on the floor, and he gets the tap. It'll be, they've called a jump ball because they weren't clear on who it was out on. And it is Eltham basketball. Jeez, that is tough. Looks pretty crystal clear from this angle.
Yeah, we were probably closer than the referees to that, and the Ringwood crowd very displeased with that jump ball call, causing it to go Eltham's way. Ken now questioning the referees, as is Matt Fennell.
And just getting the Ringwood players in. They don't need to be arguing too much. Don't want to give away anything. But fair enough asking the question, because it did look from our angle, but as we said, we have a very, very good look of it.
So Mike McKay going off for the Hawks now, 27.7 rebounds, 2 of 6 from deep, 50% from the field, 10 on 20. We talked about Fennell at the start of the game. He definitely got going, 18 and 13 with 3 assists to go with that. Those 2 for the Hawks in particular, really getting the job done. Simon Grant, 13 and 12 for Eltham. Justin Ava has contributed 15, but on 5 of 15 from the field. No one else really stepping up for Eltham as they shoot the ball 34% from the field.
And you'd have to say it's between Matty Fennell and Mike McKay for player of the series. Both with 22 points in the last game as well, and have performed brilliantly here today. So straight into it, Eltham looking to get going. Ava will shoot the 3, no doubt about that. Way off. Simon Grant with the rebound, and that was a foul.
So good defense from Sean Clark in front of Simon Grant with the O-ball going back up, but it's Mike McKay making sure the ball doesn't leave his hands, makes him earn from the charity stripe.
And it is a 14-point game, but Ringwood not happy at all with just sitting with the 14 points. They're really wanting to get the little things right. As we see Simon Grant knock down the first 13-point. And Eltham, with the likes of Ava, with Waldron and Cameron stepping out, they can bring this game back with 2:40 left to play. They need to take advantage of their opportunities as Grant misses a second. Even off the miss, Eltham into this press. Well done from Snowball, slipped the double team. Kick off to McKay, cross-court pass is dangerous. Truman gets a grab of it though. Off to Fennell, he's really been feeling it. Just dribbling around, Steve Nash style, off to Snowball. Draws the contact and finishes. Quick little glance back. He said, "This is my house." 2:15 left in this one, back out to 15 points. Ringwood Hawks have the advantage. Waldron starting to get going, but it will be, you'd think, a case of too little too late for him and the Wildcats. Truman could have gone up, made the smart decision to pull out and waste even more time off the clock, because that is the enemy of the Wildcats at the moment.
Yeah, no doubt. 10 seconds left on the shot clock now for Matthew Snowball. High pick for Sean Clark.
Oh, Mike McKay, too strong, but a good block from Waldron. He's stuck with the play. He's outsized in that low block, but good job. Oh, he wanted to pull up for the 3. Malvaso, Cameron wasn't ready for it, and he wasn't pleased. A great effort from Ava to go diving for that loose ball, but it was still out of bounds on Eltham, and Ringwood will take it 129 to be exact, left to play in this one. 13-point lead, and the Hawks look to have booked themselves a grand final spot.
Yeah, they can smell it now, there's no doubt, the Hawks. Good job by Mike there to draw two defenders. Snowball looking after the ball, looking to penetrate, handed off to Fennell, but could not finish that layup. Malvaso for Eltham coming away with it. Kicks to Ava. Ava looking to attack quickly, but kicks off the cross-court pass. Or Mike McKay.
Probably could have gone up himself then. Gave it off to Truman, but a great defense from Grant. And Justin Ava goes flying. And I don't know what he's really complaining about. He got the foul call. Smart foul there by Matthew Snowball. Just the whole play, settle his team down, focus on getting a stop here now. 1 minute to go in the ball game. 13-point game. It is the Ringwood Hawks that lead. 1 minute, as you say. Malvaso to Grant. I think that was a three. Not quite. Truman almost tapped it up and in. Goes to Clark, flicks it over to Snowball, gets into the half court. Oh, I think he wanted McKay here for the lob, not quite. For now, back to Snowball, and they will take some more time off the court. McKay to bring the house down. No. Everyone was up ready to put the cherry on top, but not quite. But it will be Ringwood that will win this game. Waldron pulls up. No on that occasion. And Ringwood will be out of close to get the ball. He needs to get the ball over the court, boys. Oh, the spin, a bit of handle. Get the crowd going. Holy pass. You think they'll dribble it out here? They might have to get a shot up late. But it will be the Ringwood Hawks, as I was saying, that will win. A 13-point win for them.
They book themselves a spot in the state championship men best of three grand final series starting next weekend. Ringwood will have home court advantage after finishing atop the ladder for season 2017. Game 1, venue to be decided depending on upon the result of the Knox-Waverley game currently being played. And while we talk about that, Hickey, before analysing the Hawks win in Game 2, finishing the series, what sort of result have we got going at the moment?
We're about halfway through the second over in that one. Waverley 1-0 up in the series. They lead 30-29 on Knox's home floor. So that could be set for a close finish. But as you said, it was the Ringwood Hawks that take a big win, 13 points. It got a bit interesting in that third quarter. There was a bit of push and shove from both teams, and that technical foul, as we look back, was very, very big in the momentum of the game. Hey, Russell?
Yeah, no doubt about it. It was a momentum shifter for sure. On the back of Truman knocking those free throws down and Matty Fennell coming alive. For the Hawks, Mike McKay finishes the game in 38 minutes, 27 points, 8 rebounds. Matthew Fennell, phenomenal. 18 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists. Snowball, a veterans game, a leaders game, scoring when he needed to, taking over. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 6 dimes to round out the big performers for the Hawks. For the Wildcats, Justin Ava, 15 points, though struggled from the field at 31%. Chris Cameron, 7 points, 6 rebounds. And Simon Grant, probably amongst the best for the Wildcats, 14 points, 13 rebounds, a sincere double-double there.
And no surprise that he ends with a double-double. He is a double-double machine. I think he averages one on of the season. As we see, one of the great parts and great things of any basketball, and specifically this level of basketball, the fans, the kids getting onto the court, celebrating with the players. A couple of interesting other things to note. Turnover count for both sides is relatively low. You've got to give credit to Ringwood, who early looked like they were going to turn over the ball a lot, but managed to tighten it up a fair bit. The ability to get to the free throw line, they shot 10 more free throws. And last game, both sides shot it at about 50%. This time around, about 80 for the Hawks and 70 for Eltham. All credit to Ringwood. They look and will move on to the grand final, as you said. A couple last shout outs to our sponsors once again. Ringwood Nissan, thank you very much. Original Joe's located at 66 Main Street in Croydon. Optus at Stud Park, our man Luke Brody over there. You've also got the Bendigo Bank Ringwood. A couple of others, Ross.
Yeah, the naming rights sponsor for the Hawks, Noel Jones in Ringwood. Whether you're selling buying,
or
renting.
There we go.
Head down to Brett and see him and his team down there on Maroondah Highway. FODMAP Foods, and of course don't forget to follow your Ringwood Hawks on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. My name's Russell Lee, joined by Matthew Hickey. It's been an absolute pleasure to commentate and be in your living room with you this evening, or wherever you're watching.
For your viewership.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your viewership. As I said, it has been a pleasure, Russell. Last comments before we finish up here?
Oh, look, it's an absolute pleasure, Hickey. I have no doubt that Ken will be nagging us to have another crack next week, unless I get the arse, potentially, with someone at the league, someone from BigV head office along with you, a much more talented commentator, if I may.
No chance of you getting the flick. Thank you very much for joining me, Russell. Also, if anybody had my final voice breakdown, I'd love to say that I think I managed to get through 0, so I'm pretty proud of myself in that. Just a little bit of self-love, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I've been counting as the call's gone on. I've got 42 voice breaks, so yeah.
About average.
Yeah.
So thank you again for your viewership. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will see you again as the Ringwood Hawks are through to the grand final.